Welcome to Quiero Dinero podcast. Juan Pablo Delgado takes you with business owners interviews, professionals, and people who are in the hustle. Quiero Dinero es un espacio para cotorrear sobre negocios, emprendimiento, la vida misma y el dinero.
Hi everyone, I hope that you and your family are safe and sound. It's early September and we are facing and adapting to the new reality. My guest is Lizette Espinosa, President and co-founder of infanttech, creator of the zooby, a baby monitor for cars, and smart temp-a technology tracker of a baby's temperature all day and night. She is a visionary entrepreneur with a mission and drives to create technology solutions to impact and protect babies and young children. She has always been led to look beyond the norm and think about how she could make a difference by creating a global impact. As a rare commodity in the US and a woman in STEM, she is leader in an industry that only has 20% of women engaged. Yet, if you think that this success was easy or always with a glorious and lovely path, nope, para nada, amigo. Think twice. Lizette Espinosa came from the story to lose it all to be a successful entrepreneur and business owner. Going back to 2008, she worked in the real estate industry with a developer when the real estate industry fell dramatically, if you can recall. So in a few months, she lost her job, the house, and being in a financial fallout. But then something happened. When she rock bottom, she went to this remarkable process of internal recognition. She has everything that needed. I call to have a strong mindset and believe in yourself. Before this entrepreneurial venture, she had her law office, so protecting the innocent is in her DNA. She graduated from Loyola Law School in Los Angeles and USC. She believes in self-development as part of her education process and has taken mastery in transformational training for herself and what she creates. She was a 2008 cohort member of Dr. Jasmine David's Leadership Institute, focusing on leadership and entrepreneurship, and became an advisor in 2019. She just completed a management development course for entrepreneurs at UCLA. She recently won the Latinas of Influence in the US and was featured in Women's Global magazine this winter. She's passionate about supporting other women business owners. She's very proud of being an immigrant that came from Mexico when she was 5 years old. She credits much of her success to her parents that influenced her always to keep striving. Bien por los papás. I'm Juan Pablo Delgado, founder of Raise the Bar Latinx and Financial Pro, and you're listening to Quiero Dinero podcast.
Okay.
Lizette Espinosa, thank you for being in Quiero Dinero podcast today with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And Lizette, please, in a few minutes, tell our community about yourself, about what do you do and how did you start?
Okay, well, thank you. Well, soy orgullosamente mexicana. I am the co-founder of infanttech. We are the makers of the zooby baby monitors for cars. And what we do, we're in the business of saving babies' lives and especially helping first-time moms with the anxiety that they have, particularly for them when they're driving with their newborns when they're rear-facing. Right. So I'm really passionate about helping first-time moms. And how did we get started? It's interesting because I was actually had my own law practice. I'm an attorney.
No way. Wow.
And to jump into this entrepreneurial manufacturing business.
Well, and congratulations for that jump. It's not easy, but you did it. No. You figured it out.
Yes. Thank you. And, even having your own law practice, that was me being my own business owner as well. So it's one of those things that you always take whatever you learned in your prior experiences with you. Mm-hmm. So I'm really fortunate having that background. It's like speaking another language. And for business, I absolutely love it. I feel so blessed.
Right, right. No, it's amazing. And Lizette, tell us about what you care about most.
I am very passionate about everybody having the freedom to be who they are. You know,
Right.
I am passionate about being a contributing member to society, but I get to be me. You get to be yourself. And I think people get to really be happy by sharing their own gifts and talents. You know, I don't think people talk about that, or at least when I was growing up, that wasn't I think a big thing. And now it's like, it really is. If you're happy with what you're doing, you can be successful.
Right. I love it, and I agree 100% with you. And Lizette, tell us more about your business and how and why did you pick your industry from being a lawyer and then choose the tech industry?
Yeah, you know, to be honest, the business chose us. It was all because of our personal experience with our family. So
Right.
My business is family owned. I run it. I actually work with my husband, and that's another challenge within itself, but I love it. We're
I know, right?
And, you know, we combined our own, like I said earlier, we combined our own gifts and talents, and we noticed the problem with our son when I was a first-time mom of my own anxieties when I was driving a car, and we came up with this idea. And because of that, we just kept getting a lot of feedback of, wow, that's a really good idea. I can't believe it doesn't exist yet. And so we ran with it. And from there, it was transitioning from me having my law practice to, you know, my husband was actually doing his own business as well in real estate.
Right.
But he's a techie at heart, so he understands all this electrical and the technical aspects of it. And so together, we were able to create this. We actually called infanttech our third baby.
I love it. I love it.
So it did choose us, but I love it. I really. It actually took me a while, I think, to be in a job that I really am passionate about, and it brings me joy. I do love being creative, and I know that we're doing something good for families and the community. So it's exciting.
Wow. I love it, and congratulations for that. It's amazing the thing that you and your husband accomplished. And tell us, what's the most challenging you encounter personally and professionally, and of course, how did you overcome the challenge? And most important, what did you learn from it?
Well, you know what? I have to go back on the most big challenge that I had personally happen in 2008. I call it my, you know, the rags to riches story of I lost it all. In 2008, I literally had lost my job. It was like when the market was failing. I was in the real estate industry. I was working for a land developer.
Right.
And within a few months, it's like I lost the job. I had lost my house. I actually even ended up filing for bankruptcy.
Wow.
But my biggest lesson, so it was one of those of like losing it all, hitting the bottom, and then realizing at the same time that I had everything I needed. I still had resources. I still had family that I could go to. I still had a roof over my head. I still had food. That it's one of those where I said, you know what, despite what it might look like on the outside, it became this like internal recognition that I had everything I needed. And so I just kept going. But I always reference back to that time in 2008 of what it might look like on the outside, that it might not be working. It's like just internally know that I have everything I need.
Wow.
And so that was my biggest lesson. And so moving forward, whenever I do face challenges, I can go back to like, you know what? You have to kind of stop at that moment to see what you do have. So I'm very much about being in gratitude and recognizing my blessings, because then I'll see it's not as bad as what my mind wants it to be, you know, or thinks that it might be.
Exactly. Wow. Amazing. And thank you so much for sharing that. And what accomplishments are you most proud of and why?
Definitely when I look at my my story, it really does come to my family and education.
Right.
I have said that I'm an immigrant. I came here when I was 5 years old, and I really sit on the shoulders of my parents of what
Mm-hmm.
they did and the sacrifices they did to come here. And when I stop to think, it's like, wow, it's like I really did. I feel like I did accomplish the American dream of like I was able to get a good education. My dad always used to say, "Papelitos hablan," and he was referring to your degrees,
Right.
but then doing something with that, right? So when I stop and think about, coming here when I was 5 to be able to go, my humble beginnings, when I look at my public education, these little schools in Azusa, California, and then I was able to go straight to USC, University of Southern California, and then go to law school. And, there was even a time when I was a White House intern. And I remember
Wow.
just being like, wow, I can't believe I'm here. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Wow. How was that?
So,
How was that experience?
that was amazing. Actually, I was working with a Latino also, Miki Ibarra, and I remember sitting in the White House West Wing one day, and that was also an eye-opening experience that stayed with me all my life, where I don't have to have everything planned. I remember sitting there and realizing I never would have thought I would be here, but what an awesome experience that I'm having, and look at this opportunity that came my way. So that made me realize that there's always opportunities for you, and you just have to open the doors that come to you, pick the ones that are meant for you.
Right.
He will be there.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
But that was, that was a neat.
That's awesome. That's a nice story. Wow.
I've done a lot.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that. It's amazing. And
Yes.
since we are in the Quiero Dinero podcast, please share with our community your biggest insights about business or your most valuable financial lessons.
So for business, number one, I'm going to say recognize early on how you have to build your team. I think even, I don't know why we have this mentality of like, I can do it myself or I've got this. But when you really look at businesses and business leaders, it's all about the systems that they have. It's all about their team. They don't do it by themselves. And so you have to quickly start recognizing your own strengths and weaknesses so that you can fill in the gaps with the team. So I always ask people, who's on your team? And this goes for any aspect of your life. Who's on your business team? Who's on your marriage team? Who's on your health team? So build a team. And the faster you can do that in business, I think the faster you'll be able to succeed.
Well, I agree 100% with you, and I think it's paramount to build a team. I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Lizette, and what's the next level of growth that you're excited about, both personal and professionally?
Well, personally, number one is, I'm really happy, when you ask, I'm going to go back a little bit when you asked me what's one of the things I'm most proud of. It really is my family, having my children and my husband, and I'm excited there where we are, everybody's getting older. We're doing the best we can right now. Everybody's healthy, but we are, we're thriving. And so we were actually going to add a dog to the family, so that would be fun.
Okay. Awesome.
And yeah, I know. And then professionally, we are excited because we are at a growth stage. We're scaling to the next level. I think next year we're talking about international distribution.
Oh, wow.
And
that's
we
amazing.
are, Thank you. This journey for the business definitely has had its ups and downs, but right now we finally feel that we've got the traction that we've been looking for. and there's some really good things happening. So it's collaborations, expansion, other people knowing about us, infanttech name and Zooby becoming a household name, and working with good people and just making it. So it's really, it's actually a very exciting time right now for us. We're excited.
Yeah, I can tell that. Wow, that's amazing. And Lizette, what leaders or mentors or entrepreneurs do you respect or look up to, and why?
Actually, I feel like that's changing lately. It's one of those things where I think I used to look at people that were, let's say, I didn't personally know, like the Oprah or the Warren Buffett. I think when I would see that would be I think when I saw them, that's what taught me to look at the team. It made me recognize, they're not doing it by themselves. But now I'm looking at people that I know. I have so many girlfriends that are their own businesses. They own their own businesses. I have had so many mentors and people that have crossed my path that have supported me along the way, and they're like amazing people. And they all have insights. I think when it comes to having your team, going back to that, it includes your mentors. It includes to like making sure that you have someone you can reach out to. Like I actually happen to have even a financial mentor. Call him our family godfather because he knows about financing and he knows about capital. It's like, so I've got someone to pick his brain to say, hey, how can I do this? How can I scale? How can I be better with my money? How can I leverage my money? So find somebody like that you can ask questions to that understands. I've got some manufacturing mentors. How do we deal with manufacturing? Because I don't know this world. So you need to find people in your area that you can look up to, that you trust, that can share their insights, because you'll be surprised how many people do want to help you. Everybody does want to lend a helping hand and share their knowledge and support you in getting to where you want to be.
Right. Wow, I love it. And then, of course, you have to ask. Exactly. I love it.
Yes. That's the number one. You do have to ask.
Exactly. And Lizette, what legacy would you want to leave behind?
Those are big questions, right? What are we doing? I think number one is just knowing that I was like I said earlier, being a good contributor to society, to know that I left an impact and I made a difference in being my own. It's funny, I've been known to, I can be very outspoken. I think it's the lawyer in me where I will speak up for injustices when I see it, or just speaking my truth, even if it might not be the most, let's say it's not the most popular opinion. I will say it out of like, so I'm courageous in that. And so that's my legacy. It's like, be a good person, leave an impact, make sure that I contribute with my children, that they're good members of society, and, keep going. And if I can support someone else with my story or in anything that they might need, that's actually what I'm here to do.
Wow, I love it. And thank you for sharing that. And Lizette Espinosa, before we wrap up, any final message that you would like to say, and I would to read you or find out about infanttech?
Well, thank you. Well, I guess as one of the big messages that I would like to share is that along the way, I have added these universal truths to my life. And so here are my top two. Number one is there's a seed of good in everything. So no matter what it is you're going through when it comes to your business challenges or anything that you are dealing in life, like you just need to get through it, know that even if what you perceive it to be negative, there's a seed of good there. And most likely it's some type of growth for you so that you can get to the next level. And then the second one, which I think brings me a lot of peace of mind, is that I will know what I need to know when I need to know it. That way you don't freak out that you don't know everything right now. Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes it could be overwhelming. So just trust that it will come to you when you need it. And when you operate that way, then you know what? Actually, just take one thing at a time and you will make it happen. And for reaching me, you can always find us on our website at www.infanttech.com. That's with 2 T's. Or you can look up the Zooby, which is ZOOBY, baby monitor for cars, and you can find us on Amazon as well and on our website. And you can reach me, you can contact us there. Yes.
Wow. Thank you, Lizette Espinosa. Muchas gracias. Thank you for being in the show today, and keep raising the bar. Keep going. Keep raising the bar for you, for your family, for the community, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you do need anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to lend a helping hand and also to help any entrepreneurs or even attorneys, any student that wants to get into law school. If they need to know the path, I can help out with that too.
Awesome. I love it. Gracias, Lizette.
Sí, de nada.
For all out there, keep raising the bar as well. I hope you enjoyed this interview, and thank you for listening, and please don't forget to share. Thank you for my support, RTV Financial Group in Beverly Hills, Callcast, and Power Podcasting.